Today I'm going to be breaking down how you can use super dragons here at Townhall 14 to 3-star any base. So here is the army composition we are going to be taking a look at today, and of course the main troop we're bringing are those 6 super dragons. The siege machine of choice is going to be the flame flinger. It's really effective here at Townhall 14, and rather than the royal champion we're going to be bringing the minion prince. But if you don't have the minion prince leveled up, or you don't want to use him, the royal champion is also a really good option. But let's jump in and we'll break this one down. Now the first thing you're going to want to do is a bit of base identification. You're looking to pick off a section of the base with your flame flinger. Typically this is going to be somewhere that involves an air defense or something along those lines that's going to cause your super dragons some issues. So for us in this particular one, we decide to go for this top section of the base. We're looking to take down the mortar, the air defense, and then some of these trash buildings with the splash damage from the flame flinger. Super dragons are an incredibly fast troop as well, so don't be scared to take a little bit of time to really set your funnel. If we jump in here, you guys will see the flame flinger is going to come in from that top section. Always make sure you bring in a giant to test for any Teslas, traps, or even to tank for a couple of mortar shots, anything like that. It's always going to be pretty dangerous coming in just with the flame flinger, so typically you're going to want to just throw in that test giant just in case. And you'll see actually here there is a Tesla over towards that left hand side that the giant didn't actually pull, so we're dropping down a couple of archers just to test as well. But we're just going to let that flame flinger do its thing. As you can see, we do have splash damage of course coming from the flame flinger, so they are going to be able to take out multiple buildings up here at that top section. Let that flame flinger do its thing, don't need to rush anything else. Next up we are going to be thinking about our queen though, and as you can see she is going to be bringing in that giant arrow. Typically you're going to look to try and take down a good line of defenses with these. Sometimes you're going to want to look to pick off the sweepers if they're pointing in a direction you don't like, but if they're both pointing in the opposite direction from where you're attacking, you don't of course need to worry about this. In this particular one you guys can see we're taking down an air defense as well as multiple other buildings, getting lots and lots of value. Queen in combination with that king going to be creating the opposite funnel over here on that right hand side of the base. You'll see the flame flinger done a great job at that top section creating that funnel, king and queen over here on the right, and then we can get the rest of our troops coming in, which is of course those super dragons. Now don't be scared to use your spells early on as well. We're looking to get maximum value from all of our super dragons, so rage them up. Eternal Tome ability from that Grand Warden is going to come in pretty early as well. We also have the healing tome coming through on him. Use those spells to help support. Of course the free spell going to be coming in on heavy buildings like the Town Hall, scatter shots, single target infernos, anything like that of course could cause your super dragons some issues. King's ability going to get popped off down there at that bottom section of the base. You'll see out of that flame flinger we did have a super dragon. That is just going to help boost the back end power of our attack right here. But you can see we have 5 super dragons I believe left up in this one. We still have our queen on full HP, our king just about on full HP, minion prince is in there as well, though he does just get taken down by a seeking air mine. But it's a beautiful strategy. It's incredibly powerful, and if you would like to try it out, the link for it is down in the description. But don't go anywhere just yet because we have a couple more examples of just how strong this can be. Moving on to that second example, we have another centralized town hall going to be coming in, and again we opt to use that flame flinger from this top section of the base, trying to clear up all of this section. We of course have a couple of archers also going to be coming in. Now don't be too scared to let your flame flinger take a couple of shots from things like mortars. Not quite in range here, but it may potentially get in range. You do want to make sure though you are avoiding your flame flinger being locked onto by a ground expo. That could really cause you some issues, so definitely something you're going to want to keep in mind. Queen has come through from this left hand side of the base. Her giant arrow went all the way through, caught this sweeper here in the core, because of course we are pushing in towards this left hand side, so we want to take out the sweeper that's going to cause us the most amount of issues. King going to get in there, deal with the enemy royal champion. We have those super dragons now making some process through. Unfortunately, we didn't quite fully create that funnel up there at that top section. The flame flinger, yes, it does a good old job, but we maybe needed to drop one super dragon just to clear out some of those junk buildings, so the rest of them could go into the core. But regardless, we're still going to be pushing on through. We have a couple of super dragons pushing off with the queen along this left hand side of the base. Luckily for us, the minion prince locks onto that town hall with a few balloons as well. Super dragons still making some really nice progress through this top section of the base. We're about to be joined by another one out of that flame flinger, and we're just going to continue to use our spells in support. We have plenty of free spells left up, so we're just going to use them. You can see skeleton spell is going to be coming out right there, and that is going to help tank for the single target inferno as well as the enemy grand warden. But we have plenty of troops left up on the back end right here. They are going to be smashing through these defenses on the back end. We do find that tornado trap, but that's not going to be a problem at all because we have so much left up here. Let's take a quick look at the heroes equipment just because I haven't mentioned it. Spiky ball alongside the earthquake boots for the king. Queen is going to be coming in with the giant arrow and healer puppet. Grand Warden, of course, with the double tome, and Minion Prince with his 2 regular abilities. So let's jump in and take a look at the third and final example of super dragons here at Townhall 14. So again, we've got that centralized town hall. Now this attack can actually be used against anti 3-star bases as well. It's maybe not quite as easy to set up things like the flame flinger for a funnel, but you can definitely still execute it. Like always, you're looking to tank that flame flinger at the start using a giant, testing for traps, testing for anything that could cause your flame flinger any issues at all, letting it shoot down its shots, take down multiple defenses and create that funnel. Next thing you're going to want to do is line up your archer queen. You're trying to get maximum value from your giant arrow wherever it may shoot. Typically though, that is going to include at least one of the sweepers that's potentially pointing towards your super dragons. If you don't manage to catch that, try and at least get an air defense or 2. But flame flinger doing a great old job up here, that top section of the base. Again, it just so happens all 3 of these examples of the flame flingers came in from the exact same location, but of course you can typically drop it on any of the corners. Ideally, you're usually looking to drop down your super dragons on a flat side of the base, just because I find typically it's easier to funnel that way. But again, totally personal preference if you find a better option. Baby dragon going to come in just to help that funnel a little bit more. And there it goes. We get the queen going to be coming in, taking care of 2 of those air defenses with her ability. And if you've not used the giant arrow on her before, typically what you're going to want to do is draw a line with your finger, line it up with a trash building on the outside, deploy down your queen along that line, shoot the ability, and it should take down those buildings you are looking for. So once the queen's done her job, of course, the king's also going to be coming in helping create that funnel, and then we can get going with the super dragon portion of this attack. We do need to be careful going straight into a single target inferno, so using that ability right at the start. Now sometimes you can hold on to this ability for a little bit longer because of course you have that healing tome on the Grand Warden as well. So just trying to maximize value, of course, as always. When it comes to using that Minion Prince ability, typically you're going to want to use it as you progress through into the core, just so it freezes everything up and you can wipe through the core without taking too much damage yourself. Raging up at all possibilities. Typically you're going to use these rages at the start and then to get through the heavier defenses on the back end. Using your spells to help support, you're going to want to use those free spells on things like air defenses, inferno towers, scatter shots, anything that's really heavy hitting on your super dragons. But you'll see again, I'm not even sure we've lost a single super dragon on this attack. Incredibly powerful, easy to execute. This is what I like with these strategies. They're super simple. Probably the most complicated thing in this is setting up the giant arrow from the queen, and even that is not that complicated. Super dragons are an incredibly strong and versatile troop here at Townhall 14. You can use them on pretty much any base. But if this doesn't take your fancy and you want to look at another strategy here at Townhall 14, I have loads of other strategy videos. All you need to do, head over to my channel, subscribe while you're there, and check out my Townhall 14 playlist, which has a load of different videos. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.